I want you to understand that forget whatever that is going on social media, forget whatever that the Nigeria terrorist states are saying on social media and behaving on their National Assembly. They know that the game is over. I am telling you the fact. The northern Nigeria know that the game is over. I know what is going on within them. The presidency of Nigeria know that the game is over. The Senate President Akpabio knows that the game is over. The only people that do not know, or maybe they are just skeptical, are the gullible one Nigerians who are believing in the Nigeria terrorist army that they have the capability to eliminate Biafrans, not knowing that I actually lost the war already before even the war started.
It's in program, wherever you are joining me from, I appreciate you and I thank you for being part of this program. Please like and share the program on your platform, share to family and friends, share to everyone that is close to you so that they can be part of this very platform and be able to send information across. Fellow Biafrans and people of the world, viewers across the world, in this very platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We do not come here to preach hate. We don't come here for saga or to attack an individual. What we do in this platform is to send information across to the world on the true situation of things in Biafra land and in the contraption called Nigeria. There are so many things that are not being taken note of. There are so many things that are happening that are being told in a different form. In this platform, we bring those information to your doorstep and tell you exactly how things are. There are certain videos that you might not be able to come across on the media. Some videos that are hidden from the eyes of the people, we bring them out and share it through the social media so that the world will be aware of what is going on in the contraption called Nigeria. I welcome every one of you, and I'm going to share a very important information as we speak. I want you to watch this video from the beginning to end. You will understand what we are talking about. So many things that you can't see online. You are going to see it here. So listen to this very video from the beginning to end, and I bet you're going to enjoy it. Let us watch it together and see what the video has to say.
All right, glad to have you back. And if you are just joining us, this is POV, that is Political Voice on Voice of the People Television. Now to the first major topic of discussion. Anambra State Governor, Professor Soludo, has stated that freeing Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, will not resolve the worsening insecurity in the southeast. Speaking during a press briefing at the Governor's Lodge in Amobia, Soludo argued that the original Biafran agitation had been hijacked by criminal elements exploiting Kanu's name to perpetrate organized crimes, including kidnapping and armed robbery. Soludo stressed that the insecurity in the region has grown beyond Kanu's influence, as many criminals no longer hid his directives. While acknowledging IPOB's repeated disassociation from the violent groups, he said the current wave of crime has nothing to do with any joining liberation movement. Now, the governor further revealed that over 99% of criminals arrested in Anambra in the past 2 years were Igbo, with a significant number being non-Igbo of the state. Oh well, I had announced the presence of Mr. Muyiwa Adeyemi, who is a political analyst in the studio. Mr. Muyiwa, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, good evening once again.
Okay, I'm also informed that Mr. Isiaka Badamosi, the virtual guest, has joined us. Good evening, Mr. Badamosi.
Good evening, Joguma. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
So good to have you. Very well. So good to have you on this show. And thanks for coming. Now, let me even start with you. The issue of the insecurity in the southeast is on the front burner again. We have the governor of Anambra State, Soludo, say that, look, freeing Nnamdi Kanu will not necessarily thaw the tension. It will not going to bring about the end of the insecurity in the southeast, because according to him, criminal elements have hijacked the agitation, the liberation movement. Now, a lot of people had also said this thing before. Do you agree with Soludo? And is that even the reason why Nnamdi Kanu has not been released by the federal government. What's your take on Soludo's assertion?
Okay, thank you very much, Chukuma. You see, the thing is this. I think it's a good thing we have somebody who is coming out, and in the person of a governor of a state, coming out to say it as it is. Some of us have been saying it for quite some time now, but most people are not paying attention, or maybe they are being sentimental about the situation. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu would not significantly change the dynamics of what is on ground right now. Just like the governor said, the whole agitation has been hijacked by criminal elements, and they are operating and they're having a field day. And for them to relinquish or to forgo all of this this crime they've been into all the while will be a very difficult challenge. Even though I think his release might ignite one or two maybe reconciliatory moves, but in terms of solving what we call the insecurity situation and then the criminal element, I don't think it will be the case. Because besides even the criminal element, you have people even within the political circle who are benefiting from the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. And for them, they are better off without him being around, because some of them might even think that his presence might overshadow their political ambition and political presence within the Southeast. So all of these are dynamics that are intertwined and are playing out within the southeastern part of Nigeria as it is now.
All right. Thanks very much, Mr. Badamosi. Does what Soludo said, does it lend credence to the fact that, like you said, is there a possibility, that some people are the ones? Is it possible, I want to say, is it possible that the federal government, the president in particular, will listen to such statements by people like Soludo and then continuously keep Nnamdi Kanu in detention, bearing in mind that, look, even letting this young man go might not even douse the tension in the southeast?
You see, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria might not have the kind of power we are arrogating to him, in the sense that there are judicial processes that are ongoing right now, and those judicial processes has to be determined within the courts. Okay, but let's assume that maybe the case is withdrawn, the federal government decides to withdraw the case and all of that, and he is released. The president will be looking out for a kind of
Hello, Mr. Baramosi. Okay, I think there's a
much more full and calm southeast with the release of. If that does not happen, if it does not see a change in the security situation, what is after the release of Nnamdi Kanu, then it means the government of the day, in terms of what they have asked him to do. And I think for me, Nnamdi Kanu deserves to be let go of, because as it is right now, the government has not been able to prosecute this case for quite a while, and I think it is not an appropriate thing to keep him perpetually if the government is found wanting in prosecuting his case properly. So the young man is entitled to his life, if not even for the southeast agitation and the Biafra agitation. He should be given his life back and let him go on with his life.
All right, Mr. Badamosi, I like the fact that you talked about the judicial process and political solution. It's a bit curious that you say that, look, the president doesn't have the kind of power that we arrogate to him, talking about releasing Nnamdi Kanu by fiat. We have, how many months, 2 months ago, we saw the president order the Attorney General of the Federation to let go people who were charged with treasonable felony. We have also seen it happen in the case of the Miala president. The president of the Miala cattle herders, the president by fiat said, let this person go. It happened in the case of Sunday Igboho. It happened in the case of Omoyele Sowore. So why is it a bit difficult for the same president, the same government, to do the same thing for Nnamdi Kanu? Does it look like some form of political persecution, not just for the person of Nnamdi Kanu, but for the South?
You see, when you say we've seen it in these cases you've mentioned, there were judicial processes that such cases went through.
If you talk about judicial processes, a court of competent jurisdiction also asked the federal government, let this young man go. He doesn't have any case to answer. the federal government turned around to prefer more charges against him. What does it look like? Mr.
But you must also remember, Chukuma, that 2 cases. Okay, sorry. I didn't get what you said there. What you said last.
No, I said, what does it look like?
Hello, I didn't get the last thing you said.
No, the last thing I said is that.
Well, for me, I think, you see.
Go ahead.
Okay, you see, what I'm saying is that the issue that has to do with Nnamdi Kanu is fairly a peculiar issue. For me, I think there are people who are behind the scene playing a lot of drums and a lot of dynamics. I told you earlier that there are elements within the Southwest, criminal elements that have hijacked the movement. I told you also that there are political actors within the Southwest who does not want this young man to be released. And some of these people are playing all of these cards all over the place. And there are people also who are singing the song of, let's please release this man so we can have peace in the Southeast. Okay. Which also the governor has told will necessarily translate to peace and tranquility in the Southeast. That is a fact. There are too many interests already at play. Now, comparing it with all of the ones you have cited, there were processes that were gone into. There were judicial processes that were gone into. It wasn't just a case of the president say, release these people and it happened. You must go to the court, either withdraw the case, and then the judge has to struck it out, and then maybe the government say, I'm no longer prosecuting this cause anymore, then for that to happen. Now, if that happens, it has gone through a judicial process, which is the normal process to be gone through. It's not just for the president to say, go ahead and release him. It doesn't work like that. And besides that fact, I said there are people who are pushing to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu is kept perpetually in detention.
All right, thank you, Mr. Baramosi. Let's come back. Please do stay with us as I bring it back to this. Mr. Adeyemi, you have heard my intro. I mean, Charles Soludo, governor of Anambra State, says releasing Nnamdi Kanu necessarily doesn't mean that there will be peace. What's your reaction?
Well, I think as far as I'm concerned, such a statement from the governor of Anambra State at this moment is unfortunate and it's uncalled for. It's political. And perhaps if he's speaking, if release of Kanu will threaten his re-election next year, he would have put it in a different dimension. Because what everybody wanted, apart from people in the Southeast, what every free thinker, any political analyst, any social crusader, right, or freedom fighter is looking for is to convince the federal government to see the necessity why Kanu must be released. You understand? I think it is a prison of conscience to many people. And what anybody would have loved the governor of that state to say this time around is that, well, if you release Kanu, it will reduce tension. If you release Kanu, all these criminal elements will not have opportunity of having, you understand, to continue to perpetrate their evil acts. Right, you know, because Kanu is incarcerated. So that's when we were able to having people like I think content creator Ekpa, right? I think coming to the board, and those guys that I think supposed hide under him, when they won't be alleged that I think have increased the tempo of insecurity in that region. So now they've arrested Ekpa, right? Those guys occasionally, as it is now, they might some of them be uncoordinated because we're heading under that figure. If Kanu could come out now, right, and I say, okay, my people, suspend this sit at home every Monday. You understand? We want to engage dialogue in our process. So meaning that once I think nobody again who, in the name of fighting for Biafra, taking up arms, killing soldiers, stopping marketers, destroying the economy of that region. Meaning that whoever tries to do that will be treated like a criminal, not only by the government, not only by the state actors, even by the people. Because the man in front of this decision has said, well, we are embarking on dialogue. Now, right, let everything that decision come into suspension. We want to dialogue. Which he has been saying while in prison now, right? So, but for the governor to come out to say, even if you release him, right, at least the insecurity will continue. Then why would the federal government or Tinubu government will now see the necessity to release it?
Exactly my point. If we have a state governor
so
who has identified,
election is coming. We are good politics here, right?
Yes.
Election is coming, and each politician will now begin to see issues. You understand? We don't know if Soludo has appointed Kanu in several ways, and I'll be afraid that release this man now, he will control, or may have the control on the voters, that whatever he wanted the vote to swing, right, might go that way. But I think I'm not expecting any
Mr. Day,
governor
I'll come to
say that now.
I'll come to that point shortly. Now, my concern is if we have a governor coming out to say, look, the liberation movement has been hijacked by criminals. Now, what does this speak? Does it speak to the complicity of the state? If the state, with all its power, enormous power, information, cannot use intelligence to fish out these perpetrators, and the governor comes out to tell us that, look, this thing has been hijacked.
You know what? I think I'm not disputing that one with him. Right? Let's have a clear cut.
No, my question.
Right? I understand.
Does it look like the government, is complicit?
No. The government will not be complicit. You understand? I'm saying that when we had crisis, you understand, the leadership, you understand, the command structure of IPOB, I think has been fractionalized. Right? ECPA claiming to be in charge until his arrest, and a lot of groups were in support of Kanu. You understand? So we are getting counter orders, right? Why a group drumming peace, right? Some were being confrontational, and with some kind of reports we have been able to gather or get from that axis, a lot of people that have been arrested for committing crime belong to the other group, supposedly being led by ECPA, right? And then I was saying that it has been hijacked. Because if Kanu was saying that, okay, suspend this Monday sit at home, and some group is still saying, you must continue to have it. Who is now in control?
Mr. Dean, I understand you.
And
look at my question.
Okay.
My question is this. The governor, who is the chief security officer of the state, has identified that, look, IPOB might not be involved in the killings, in the insecurity. Clearly because the agitation has been hijacked by criminal elements. And now I am asking, with all the powers, security vote, military, intelligence, DSS, the state government is not able to get to the root of the insecurity and take it out. Does it look like either the state or the federal government is complicit, is involved in the insecurity in this town?
No, I think that would be a very serious allegation.
Okay.
Right, and that's
because the governor has information.
Like saying now that, well, because we have this Ukrawa matter in the northeast, or you have Boko Haram in the northwest, right? You have a Boko Haram crisis in the northeast. You understand? Which has been taking almost 3 governments now to resolve, right? Starting from Jonathan to Yaradua, coming to Buhari now. So can we say that they were complicit in resolving Boko Haram completely? So that's what I'm saying. We are not saying that maybe you don't have 1 or 2 bad eggs in the security, but to say government is complicit in such, I think it will be very weighty allegation that will be very difficult for anybody to prove. But by and large, we know that certain criminals, you understand?
Because criminals are they in government? Do you think that they are in government?
No,
because we have also, if you talk about Boko Haram, we have also seen our military, ambushed by Boko Haram.
I'm coming. There is no. We have enough evidence, right? I think even for the military that Boko Haram, I think, has been to hijack certain. I think the structure. Maybe
recall that former President Goodluck Jonathan said that we have Boko Haram members in my government.
He said so. Nobody is using that one. But that does not that government is complicit. That's not the same thing, right? If we have 1 or 2 people that are sold out, right? If we have some more people, 1 or 2 people, they're criminals. So if we have, let's say, in the police force now, right? We have 1 or 2 people who understand that are compromised. We now say the entire structure has been compromised, right? So I think we are going to convince the kind of a fallacy of composition, which is wrong. You understand? But what I'm saying is that it's true with the number of people that were arrested. You understand? To say some criminal elements have hijacked that movement. You understand? But if they have been hijacked, release Kanu. You understand? Kanu knows those who are genuinely working with him, right? Kanu knows his structure.
Is there a possibility that this government will release him?
You know what? You know what? This is a political matter, right? I think when
is it political or judicial?
It's a political matter. Okay. You know, I mean, we are discussing politics here, right? And let's be sincere with ourselves. If Attorney General of Federation, I think, let's say, issued non-prosecution tomorrow, what happens? Right? Okay, now is it okay? Sunday Igboho was chased to Benin Republic, right? But it was released in Benin Republic through a court process. But the Nigerian government was looking for him there before he ran away. Do you understand? He wanted to fly to Italy. Do you understand? Now, Sunday Igboho came back to Nigeria as the federal government or police revisited the allegation against him. That's the question. So Sunday Igboho is moving freely. When the guy was chased out of his house in Ibadan, I went there and saw there was a real tug of war between him and the police. The police almost leveled the house, redoing the whole building, rebuilt with villagers like a wall. I was there that morning to go and see things for myself, right? And the guy escaped, ran to Benin Republic. In the Republic, he was a firefly when he was arrested. Was tried to court in the Republic. The Nigerian government, I think, the police declared him wanted here. We were searching for him, but now this guy back to Nigeria. As Nigerian police revisited, I think, the allegations against him, as he been charged to court, as he been arrested. So it's a political matter. That's what I'm saying. It's a political matter. Okay. And once a political matter like of this nature is best resolved in political way, and that's why we expect a governor like Soludo. He's a professor and he's a governor, right? You understand? And we expect him to lead in the conversation. Yes. You understand? You know, in the negotiation, at least to talk to Kanu. This is our son. Hand him over to us.
Okay, quick one. Does it look like you've not landed on the thought of the possibility of releasing this administration, releasing Nnamdi Kanu? Is there a possibility? Something is political, and I stand on it. Okay, you understand? And if the political actors in the northeast, in the southeast, you understand, can get, I think, some of their collaborators across the country to convince President Tinubu tomorrow, you understand, that give us Kanu, I think he will not cause trouble again. Even if he want to retain the decision, he will remain peaceful with it. All right, let's bring
he will release it.
Okay, let's bring in Mr. Badamosi into this conversation once again. Mr. Badamosi, I would like to ask you, let's take away what Soludo has said, Governor of Anambra. Let's take him out of the equation. Now, do you think that if Nnamdi Kanu is released and the underlying issues that led to the agitation in the first place, those issues are not resolved, do you think that it will bring peace in the southeast?
Okay, thank you very much. You see, part of the reasons why what Governor Soludo said is true is the fact that the underlying issues are still remaining. What are these underlying issues? You have issues of the belief of the majority of Southeasterners that the agitation for Biafra Republic is a legitimate one. And to be very sincere with you, every human being has a right to self-determination. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. We must have a situation whereby, or a process whereby the average Southeasterner is convinced to be part of the Nigerian state. The very instance we don't have that achieved, then we are going to have a problem. I want to maybe also mention something with regards to the issue of Sunday Igboho you mentioned earlier. You see, Sunday Igboho started something he couldn't complete. And at the point in time when he was chased out of the country, and maybe when he ran out of the country and was being prosecuted in Benin Republic, he eventually left that place and came back to Nigeria. But you see, the difference between Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu is that there are people that have a leash on Sunday Igboho, and they can always kind of round him up. They can always rake him in. But that is not the same thing with Nnamdi Kanu, because if you look at the first time when he was released and put in house arrest in his house, we had a sitting House of Rep member who was then the guarantor until when his life was threatened, and he decided to leave the country and he left. So all of these are things that makes the whole thing very shaky. There are a lot of things that needs to be done to ensure that the people of the Southeast believe more in Nigeria, or are convinced more to be part of the Nigerian state, than for us to be looking at, okay, today Nnamdi Kanu is the issue. Tomorrow somebody will rise. We have had Samuel Ekpa. We have Imam Powerful.
Do you think that Ibo Sunday Iboho is under a leash? I mean, this is a young man who took his campaign to UK, asking the UK Prime Minister to support the exit of the Yoruba nation from Nigeria. How much of a leash does he have?
Of course, the leash that he has for now is the fact that he cannot come around and start running the kind of rings he was running when during the Buhari regime, when he had people mobilized with arms to move all over the place. No. I'm sure that people must have called him to order and insisted that, look, if you want to go for this agitation, you can go in a civil way, prosecute your cases, go to wherever you want to go, whether United Nations or wherever, prosecute your case. But then don't threaten the peace and security of the Nigerian state and the Nigerian
people. Let me ask you this one question before we move on. Now, do you think that the leash is coming? I mean, there's more like a tour in his agitation. Is it because that a president is coming from, the president in power is from the Southwest? Does it have anything to do with that?
No. We had a president who was okay. The leech on Sunday ago, you mean?
Yes.
Well, yes, there might be such an influence, because I will tell you, the Yorubas generally, they have a way of raking in people who want to start to make trouble, and they
we seem to be having
know who and who to call to speak to whoever, and they can always use that to tame his excesses, and I think that is what is happening right now.
All right, thanks very much, Mr. Badamosi. Mr. Dane, a quick one before we leave. I would like to have your reaction on the same question I asked you.
Okay.
Do you think that even if Nnamdi Kanu is released, if you don't address the underlying issue of marginalization, which in the first place led to the, do you think that there will be peace?
Well, I think it depends on the actors, right? Yes, it's not only in the Southeast we talk about marginalization. Everybody will tell you that in Nigeria. I think Nigeria, is a composition of several nations, and you see agitation everywhere, here and there, but the reaction are just different. You understand? But if they are approaching the matter now, you understand? Kanu using a lot of dialogue, discussion. You understand? I think pressure on the government, maybe some issues, I think will be addressed. Don't think it's possible. What is happening there, it happened, I think, with the South. You understand? South made this country ungovernable. When Obasanjo was there, got a stake that Nigeria almost had to not top of 1,000 barrels of oil.
Exactly the point. And their concerns were addressed.
Yes, and I think they addressed it through dialogue. If you release...
No, but they first went to trenches. When the federal government...
Yes, they went to trenches.
Yes.
Let's say the existing statistics now are also in the trenches now. Let's admit.
Okay.
You understand? But later now, there was a time, all these Tompolo, all these guys are now getting billions of naira to keep pipelines. You understand? There was a time they were also in trenches. You understand? Government. You understand? We call it the same government. I forgot this alias. Right? You understand? There was a time, the Kubasari, yes, and Tompolo, there was a time they were in trenches, right? In Idi. I personally went to see Akasari in Tombia, when it was declared wanted. That's what I'm saying. But the point I'm trying to make is that immediately government of Yar'Adua came in, initiated a genuine process of addressing their grievances, and everything simmered. So what I'm saying is that there were issues on the table.
Exactly.
So if these issues on the table, you understand, and this man is saying, no, for this, and this, Nigerian government is unfair to this region. You understand? What stops a serious government right from, okay, yeah, let's sit down. And we have political actors. You understand? Let's address this matter. And it's not, I'm coming. Sorry, it's not everything they are demanding for are genuine true. But there are some that are true.
Now, my question is, do you see a possibility that this, the means to, or the quest to address these concerns will happen?
If a statement like this Soludo is coming from one or two governors, will be difficult. And that's the truth. If a statement, as Soludo made it, if you are getting it from one...
Does it look like some people from the southeast are behind the continued detention of it?
Are you in doubt? Are you in that? Sorry, are you in doubt of that at this moment? No, I don't see. I'm coming. I don't see any political analyst.
To what end?
That I'm coming. What are you saying? You know what? Everybody wants to win this election.
Yeah, but Nnamdi Kanu is not from Anambra State.
Yeah, what are you saying?
He's not going to contest the governorship of Anambra State.
I'm coming. Where is it at all? Do you understand? Where is he having effect most? The decision. Where in the 5 states in the southeast? Where is he having effect most? Tell me. Is in Anambra? Onitsha exists. Even when states like Imo, like Enugu, were not forcefully, or most of these things were not being implemented. But Anambra is 100% ever since. How much compliance are they getting from Ebonyi? How much compliance are they getting from Enugu?
Okay. But Mr. Ademi, it's an ongoing conversation. I mean, maybe we'll have to go back to it another day because we need to move on to the second topic.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching the program. I appreciate you for your patience to watch from beginning to end. I hope you have learned a lot from this very program that I just played. This video, please like and share the video. Share to all platforms. After sharing the video, now you can go to the comment section and put down your comments. Whatever suggestions, contributions you have to make, what do you think about the video I just played? Go to the comment section and put your comment. I will go through the comment section and I bet you I am learning a lot from there and you can equally learn from there. Let us share our experience on that comment section. Thank you so much and stay blessed. Don't forget to share and we continue to bless you as you share. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity and equity. We move.